My co-defendant said that he fired the gun in the air. Bro, what's up, bro?
Man, you wasn't in that car. What the hell?
You know, a lot of people don't realize that white teenagers or white families, we go through a lot of struggle as well. And it's not publicized on social media. It's not publicized on the news. You don't see documentaries about poor white children who are raised in an urban area, especially such as Detroit. And we're not talking about no Eminem. We're talking about real white kids who grow up in the hood, man, who grow up in the hood and don't have a voice. Because one nationality is speaking up for theirself, and the other nationality is speaking up for theirself, and we're caught in the middle.
Right.
To get into details on how I caught my crime on this street corner right here, which was a gang-affiliated neighborhood in Southwest Detroit, which people don't get a chance to see. So we're going to shed some light about this area and my life as a child. I didn't know which way to go, left or right. But as a child, I had fell victim to gang violence. And in that gang violence, I was facing 27 years to life. You ever had a dream and somebody destroy your dream? You ever tried to accomplish anything and there were obstacles in your way?
Poverty, race, politics.
Well, I'm here to tell you about my life. You might not be interested, but this is serious. This is what led me to Islam. So on this right here, where this fence used to be, it used to be apartment buildings. And this is where the gang that I was affiliated and I brought to this street right here. I brought to this street corner right here. This is where we used to hang out at. It used to be an apartment building, but you know, times have passed. It's, you know, them times are over with. We're talking 30 something years ago. So y'all gotta bear with me when I explain this, and I'm gonna get to the importance of the reason why I'm explaining this case. So in the actual description of the case, it says that we came out of this corner house right here. So I was on the corner, and they said that I had an assault rifle, right? There was a gang, I'm not gonna mention their names, but they was driving down this street right here, which is northbound, I believe, to McGraw Ave. And as they were driving by, I had a co-defendant who was another individual. I'm not gonna name his name, but we're just gonna call him Outlaw. So he was at the side of the house. So imagine this is an apartment building right here. Imagine this is an apartment building. And the Outlaw came out of the side of the house. There were two other individuals that were on the side of me as I came out of the front of the house. Now we come over here. So now we come over here, and they said that I had an assault rifle, which was an SKS, and it had a banana clip on it. That's what the description of my crime when they came into the courtroom, that's what the witnesses said, that they said that I had an SKS assault rifle. Now, so they said that there were 4 gang members on this street corner right here, along with another one that was down there, which was Outlaw. So they said we came out of the house. We went into the middle of the street. We waited till they passed up, and then we fired shots. That's exactly what the witnesses said. That was on my first case. As a result of that, there was an individual who was struck in the face, and a couple other individuals that were struck in the body, and they crashed into the corner store. As a result of that crime, I was forced into a nolo contender.
A nolo contender doesn't mean you're innocent or guilty. You're pleading that you cannot compete with the courts financially.
And as actually, I was 17 years old at that time. I couldn't afford an attorney. When I look back in the courtroom, there was nobody back there. It was just me against the courts. And I was already in a poverty situation, so there was no way that I could fight the crime. And I wasn't even the shooter, but yet I was accused of being the shooter. They actually threw away 2 witness statements
Two of them. They threw away the statements of the people, of the witnesses or the victims, stating that I didn't have a gun, that I didn't have a strap on me. And yet the court still offered me 27 years to life for that assumption of a crime. So I had to cop out and take a no low contender for a crime that I didn't even commit. And there's a very important reason why I had to do that. And I'm going to get into it further into the video if you pay attention. And it's going to show you how gang life led me to Islam.
So the second crime, now this is on the same day. This is not two different incidents. This is on the same day. So the second crime was when another gang, they were down the street at a female's house, which is this way right here. Put your camera this way. See that they was down the street right here. So there was 4 of them and they came about right to that tree. So that tree, as we know, is about how many feet you would say? 20 feet?
20. Yeah.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's about 20 feet. That's about 20 feet that they said there was 4 victims that were standing by this tree. My co-defendant, Outlaw, they said that he had a shotgun, a 12 gauge shotgun. And they said that I had a handgun on the same corner after the car drove by the first crime that I told you that they accused me of. This is the second crime. So these 4 individuals are standing right here by this tree. They said, this is what the Detroit police said on the stand. They said that we came out in the middle of the street and opened fire 20 feet, almost 10 feet away, cutting the 20 feet in half. Is that possible, bro?
Nope.
That if I'm shooting a 12 gauge rifle at a person from this distance from that tree, bro, is it possible for them not to get hit?
No.
I'm asking you, is it possible?
It's possible they ain't gonna get hit.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way. So now what they tried to do is, and this is how crooked the system is, they lied and said that I commanded my co-defendant to fire the gun. And my co-defendant later then made a statement and said that I commanded him to fire the gun, which I'm not holding him at fault by. But and guess what my co-defendant said? My co-defendant said that he fired the gun in the air. Bro, what's up, bro?
He wasn't in that car. What the hell? Watch out for this one. Watch out.
So my co-defendant said that he fired the gun in the air. That's what he said. So it goes to show you that there was no intent of doing harm on these individuals. But yet all 4 individuals, which were the so-called victims of the crime, all 4 individuals was not even hit one time. And we got charged with the maximum sentence.
Outnumbered. Can't afford an attorney. Going against the entire state of Michigan, the judicial system, 12 jurors, prosecutor. The public defender is telling me to take a plea bargain on the second case. Homeboys abandoned me. Nobody showed up in the courtroom. No support at all. 17 years old. They brought the first attorney in. He was a long-haired cat. He had a yarmulke on. He told me, hey, man, you're guilty, man. Take the plea. I need to go home. That's exactly what he told me. So I got rid of him. I changed the counsel. And I got another female. She was also Yahoo. She did nothing. She didn't do anything for me. I had a witness statement on my second case who was a person that I know. He said, bro, he didn't do anything. So what is the importance of me mentioning this? Why am I mentioning this? I'm about to tell you right now, the black agenda. And it was used on me, a poverty-stricken white teenager who was accused of a crime that he didn't commit. The police department came up with a statement in the middle of the trial. And they said in a statement that I commanded my co-defendant to bust, that means pew pew, bust at them HOEs and them NIGGAS. And guess what the jury was? All black. That's what the jury was. And I stood up and I said, hey man, they're trying to railroad me. They didn't want to hear it. The judge didn't want to hear it. The prosecutor didn't want to hear it. There was only one white person on that jury, and it was a hung jury. Then we went for a retrial, and they put all black people, and they brought that statement out, and they said that I commanded the shooter to bust on them HOEs and bust on them NIGGAS. I fell victim, man. I fell victim to a racist agenda, to racist police officers, to reverse racism. Who would ever imagine? My co-defendant, he actually made a statement and said he shot in the air. He didn't shoot directly at him. They had a professional expert, pew pew expert, claiming that he was in the military for all these years, a black dude. He got up on the stand and said that he pointed the strap directly at the victims. They straight up lied, bro. I was offered a plea bargain. I had no choice. Now, if I go to trial and I get found guilty, that's it. I'm gone, man. I'm gone forever. So I copped out. They ran everything concurrent. And here I am. Baby blue eyes, 17 years old, facing 27 years. And the same morning, I went to a bakery, right? The bakery was right on the corner. It's behind us. I had a routine to go into the bakery, and I had a 38 revolver in a Doritos bag. So I had it in a Doritos bag like this. And as I was walking, and there was a gang squad. That's what they called the Detroit Police Department in this area that will patrol this neighborhood. In this area, they would call them Detroit Gang Squad. And they usually wore street clothes, and they was pretty rough and tough. So they wasn't for no gangs. And they handled gang affiliated cases, and they handled gang areas in particular. So Gang Squad, he was actually a famous Gang Squad officer. I came over here around this location, and I had the 38 revolver in the bag. And I came right here and I threw the 38 revolver. And when I threw the 38 revolver, there was a car right here, so it went under the car. So Gang Squad came up and they swooped up. Whoop, whoop. They came up right here, and they told me to get my hands up. I got my hands up. They threw me to the ground. Now, this officer is a very famous officer, and his name was Officer Philpott, who was later actually unalived a couple weeks after this incident. When I got out from that carrying the 38 revolver inside the Dorito bag, I got arrested and I got a $250 bond. So I post bond. The next morning, I was on this same street corner. Now, this is all within a 2-3 day period that I'm telling you, the first crime, the second crime, and the CCW. Now, in between that period, it was about 9 o'clock in the morning the next day. So a black van pulls up, and I was standing right here on this corner. A black van pulls up and they slid open the window. And I'm standing like this, talking to my homeboy, Countdown. So I'm saying, we're just talking. So the van pulls me in, and the dude had a ski mask on,
And he tried to take my head off with a 357, and I'm fighting for my life. Bah! He busts open shot. My ears are ringing. So they're pulling me down the street. I have my feet on the ground like this, and I'm fighting for my life. And there's another individual that's in the van who's trying to stab me in the head. So I'm doing this, and the other dude, for some reason, he couldn't get a hold of the gun. And then I heard, bah, 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 bah. And from that area is where my homeboy, I ain't gonna say his name, but he came out of nowhere and was hitting the van, and actually struck one of them that was trying to shoot me in the head with the 357. So they drugged me all the way down here. Now I'm like this, I'm dragging my feet. My feet are dragging. And I'm talking about, I got on tennis shoes. It's pretty cold outside like this, but I'm dragging my feet. And as they got hit, the guy started screaming, "Oh man, I'm hit." And the other dude kind of panicked. So now blood is squirting all over me. And they dropped me off. Ironically, they dropped me off of about right here, and I smacked into a car. I get out, I jump up. I had kind of bruised ribs, and then we darted into the building, which was right here. That was our hangout. We called that Germ's crib. This was Germ's house. Rest in peace, Germ. He had just recently passed away. So, like I said, on this street corner is where I went through a lot of trauma as a teenager, and we caused a lot of destruction. So what's my point? My point is this, is that gangbanging is serious, man. And we have to stop looking at gangbanging as being a part of a family, because for a lot of kids, that's not what it is, man.
It destroys family.
It destroys a family. And a lot of kids just become addicted to it, like they become addicted to nicotine, marijuana, crack cocaine, methamphetamines, heroin, pills. It's an addiction. Gangbanging can be an addiction. And that's the reason why I'm doing this video,
it
man.
ruins people's lives.
Like at the intersection of McGraw and Chopin when several shots were fired from two passing cars. Jermont Terry live in Southwest Detroit tonight with the search for the gunman. Jermont?
Yes, Sandra. Now, this all went down around 1:30 this morning, and despite it being early, there were a lot of people in this intersection. However, Detroit police do not have many leads tonight. If you take a look, you can see that the victim's family is gathering where he passed away, and they're begging and searching for justice tonight as well. We know death is final, and this family gathers where their loved one took his final breath.
Oh, they took
everything.
everything from me. He was my first son.
This grieving mother awakened in the night to learn someone gunned down her son, Michael Mancino, in Southwest Detroit.
McGraw Ave and Chopin. It's the same street which I've been talking about in this entire video. And this area right here is where a gentleman who had passed away, which was very dear to me. You can go around, man. Go around, man.
No, my friend here.
Yeah, so this was your friend? Yes, yes. That's what I'm doing the video about. Yep, no doubt. That's what I'm doing the video about. Come closer, man. So this individual right here was, he had passed away due to gun violence. He was hit by a stray bullet. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because this individual had some type of connection with me when I was doing music. And he was one of my biggest fans and one of my big supporters. So I just wanted to add him in this video, and I wanted to tell his family I'm sorry for his passing. But this is the life of, you don't even have to be involved with gangs. You can just have gangs in your area and die from a stray bullet. This right here is a famous individual within the gang that I was in. His name was Cracker Jack. And he lived on this street corner. He lived the second house off the street corner of Chopin and McGraw. So Cracker Jack is the person who influenced me to be in a gang. And unfortunately, he lost his life due to gun violence and gang violence. And the reason why I'm mentioning Cracker Jack is because when he passed away and I seen him laying dead in the coroner's office with a disfiguration to his body. I'm going to say that did something to my mind, man. And I came back to this street on Chopin with a vengeance. And it didn't matter whether it was a person who had nothing to do with it or not. It was Crackerjack gang. And we was willing to take it out on anybody who was our opposition. And as a result of that, I wish Crackerjack was still here so that he can become Muslim and he can learn Islam. It may sound confusing to you. It may sound confusing to the viewer. But what gangbanging did, it gave me a liberty. It made me feel independent. And it helped me escape away from the family life and from the corruption that was going on within my neighborhood and within my household, which was drugs, crack cocaine, which was heroin, methamphetamines wasn't out, but mescaline was out, pills, robberies, murders, and anything under the sun of crime that was affecting me as a child. And that's what I seen. And everything around here in this neighborhood right here was abandoned homes. It was burnt up homes. It was, your mother was a prostitute. Your father was a drug addict. And your sister, she used to be the high school queen, but now she's outside on McGraw Ave prostituting. And I don't know if that explained it, but what I saw in gangbanging, it was sort of a rush, man. And it helped me escape the evilness of society. Ironically, it made me evil.
So do you think you can make things better now?
Well, that's the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video, this is a legendary video for me. How was this a legendary video? Because this street corner is where I started a chapter of a well-known Southwest Detroit gang. And I brought kids over here and I recruited kids to come out and shoot people and commit crimes and rob people. That was a result of me. I'm the one who messed up a lot of people's lives. So why I'm doing this video? What is the purpose of me doing this video? That's an excellent question. Yeah. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I want to set my foot I want to set my knowledge of what I learned from Islam.
Okay.
And I want to implement Islam. I wanted to be the first one on this street corner in this neighborhood to implement Islam in this neighborhood that I once destroyed.
So what you're trying to say is that you're trying to make it better for the community that you destroyed. So you want to try to help the people that's in the community?
It's just like Old Block when they try to correct their neighborhood.
Yeah.
They lived the life of gangbanging. And in Islam, it changed the perception, and it's changing the identity of Old Block. Well, guess what? This is the Old Block of Southwest Detroit. Because what people don't know is this neighborhood right here, this was a war zone. This was a war zone, and I was a part of that. And I've watched people die. I went to gang funerals. I've seen people get natural lives, never coming home. But it's not talked about in Southwest Detroit. For one, it's because people are afraid to get in front of the camera. I know a lot of Muslims from Southwest Detroit who became Muslim and accepted Islam inside of prison, and they didn't come out and give back to their communities what they learned about Islam. So that's the purpose.
So you're going to teach the youth?
That is the goal. Inshallah, in this video, this will be the foundation. This will be the foundation. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين